Hi, I'm Father Anthony Hannon from Unvaxxed, and this is To Prepare His Way. Some encouraging signs, and the game is on. Practice season's over. We got to get into the game. We got to intensify our efforts and take the victory. Last week, I was in Ottawa for the March for Life, and it was a very positive experience. There's about 300 to 500 persons participating. It didn't count, but that's a pretty fair estimate, I think. Far cry from the thousands and tens of thousands we've had in years past, not counting last year when they canceled it outright, although I did my own just for the fun of it, we could say. But yeah, 300 to 500 wasn't too bad. And, I think we could have had a lot more had the organizers not put on their website that they were following COVID-19 protocols and asking anyone whose conscience would not allow them to follow the protocols to stay away. And as you know, that would include me. So earlier in the week, I phoned the local office and we had a very, very good chat. And they were very encouraging to me and asking me to come to the rally anyway. And because they weren't sure how many priests would show up. And I'm very happy to report that there were at least 8 Catholic priests there. So thanks be to God. Anyway, I was battling this all week in my head, whether to go or not. I didn't want to be a thorn in the side of the main organizers. And, I also wanted to spare myself the heartache of seeing those I love, fellow practicing Catholics and pro-lifers, with the sign of submission on their faces. I've been spared seeing that and having to deal with that for the most part. Of course, whenever I go into stores, I'm usually the only one or only one of very few not wearing one of those things. However, I don't go to a parish. I haven't gone to the parishes. Whenever I've seen online masses, it breaks my heart to see these things. I think it's a terrible mistake. But whatever the case, I decided, I don't think I'm going to go. And the night before, I texted a few persons that thought that I was going, and I said I'm not going. And the thing is, my conscience was bothering me. I couldn't get to sleep. I tossed and turned, you know, half hour turned into an hour, turned into 2 hours, turned into 3 hours of me just tossing and turning. And, until I finally said, fine, I will go. Fine, I didn't like it, but fine, I'll go. And then I got to sleep. And falling asleep is not a problem for me. I lie down, I'm out, like no problem at all. So, but anyway, I didn't get much sleep that night, and so I hit the snooze and everything. Got there a little late, which actually is not that strange for me to show up a little late anyway. But I wasn't concerned. I knew that I'd be able to see the speeches online, which I did, and I got there in time to march with everyone. And I'm glad that I got there when I did, because had I been there for the speeches, I don't know how I would have handled it. Because when I've seen the videos of this, I see very good speeches, by the way, but I'm seeing that so many had this outward sign of submission to the New World Order, and they were, keeping their distance from one another. And I suspect what happened was that, good people went and, they've been maybe wearing those things shopping or whatever, so it's not a big deal for them. And but and they wanted to perhaps be cautious to see how the police would respond to the crowd, because although it is a charter right to protest, we are in Ontario under a stay-at-home order, and we've seen videos of police in Toronto and in Quebec and elsewhere being heavy-handed with protesters. So I suspect that people just showed up. They found out that the police were, were being as good as they always have been to us in years past. And so by the time the march was on, they started seeing people shaking hands and hugging and taking those stupid things off. So anyway, I was very encouraged to see the 300 to 500 and most people not wearing those things while we were marching. Also, walking in the streets in downtown Ottawa, I would say of just average pedestrians, only about 50% of them were wearing these things. So that's encouraging, because I've seen on other videos of other cities, really 99, 100% of people wearing them. So to see 50%, I'm gonna take that as the glass half full. So very encouraging. Also, there was a lot of traffic on the roads. As a matter of fact, I put on the AM radio just to see what the communist propaganda was for the day, and I was pleased to hear that there was a traffic jam on the highway going out of the city during the normal rush hour. So that means a lot of people are not paying attention to the stay-at-home orders. To get out of the city, then I took the Sir John A. Macdonald Parkway, the Ottawa River Parkway, and I was happy to see one of the beaches pretty much full of people. People sunbathing and just doing normal things, children playing in the shallow water and everything like that. It was a beautiful day, sunny day. It went above 10, 20 degrees Celsius. So, just gorgeous for this time of year. And then I took Carling Avenue further out of the city, went past Andy Hayden Park, and the parking lot was full there. So sorry about the camera quality here. There's a lot of black flies, and some of them are going across the lens of the camera. So that's the way it is. Anyway, very encouraging, very, very encouraging. Then it was further encouraging on Sunday or Monday when I was looking for videos of the freedom rallies, especially in Ottawa and Toronto, but around the world. As many of you know, there's worldwide freedom rallies around the world. Last Saturday, I couldn't go, but I wanted to see how it was. Now, in Ottawa, last July the 1st, which is Dominion Day, Canada Day, there was 2,000 or 3,000 persons that showed up. So I was pretty encouraged with that last year, especially the Quebec contingent who came by with all the Quebec flags. And then there was another one August the 29th, and there was double the amount, so 4,000 to 6,000. So that was very, very encouraging. But come February 14th, there weren't that many people. There was only 300 or 400 people tops. And yeah, I did another video about that. It was kind of disappointing on a number of levels. So I just wanted to see, I didn't expect that many people to show up in Ottawa. Ottawa is such a government town, okay? You got the municipal, provincial, and federal levels of government. Plus you've got the Quebec side right on the border for their provincial government. So it's like, most of these people, they never lost a paycheck. They haven't suffered the last year and a bit, except for some inconveniences and not being able to go to hockey games or something. Okay, so and many of them are happy because they didn't have to commute to work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not trying to put down government workers. I'm just saying there's a reason why there's not great turnouts for freedom rallies in Ottawa. Anyway, I was really, really happy to see that probably upwards of 10,000 persons participated in the rally on Saturday in Ottawa, and way more than that in Toronto. So I'll leave links in the description and a pinned comment so you can see these rallies last Saturday. And because of these rallies, I think that the momentum has shifted, and now's the time for all of us to get on board. And if like I say, practice season is over now. Okay, so for the last year and a half, it was practice season for us to, resist, not wear these things. But, I found that I'm finding actually a lot of people that I'm talking to who, we're on the same page, but they're saying to me, well, I have to wear it to go get groceries. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. I never have. And I know others who never have either. And so if you're in that category, now practice season is over. Okay, the training wheels are off. Please, please, please try to resist the pressure, the societal and peer pressure to wear those things in public. I don't even have one of those things. I don't carry one of those things. I have N95 masks for the shop, which I pretty much never use anyway. I do use safety goggles, by the way. I don't just do the safety squint. I do use safety goggles, but in terms of that, they don't do any good anyway because I got the beard for the sawdust and everything. But yeah, I don't even have one with me, and I would encourage you to get rid of those things. Now it's time, just get rid of them. There's no need for them. Get rid of them. Don't keep your training wheels there. Get rid of them. Treat it like a Ouija board, for those you Catholics who maybe when you were younger you had a Ouija board or something, and then you found out what it really is, part of the occult and superstition and everything, so you just got rid of it, right? You don't want that in your house. Well, I would say do the same thing with these stupid face coverings. But if you really have to, then this is one thing you could do. Just put the thing in your pocket and go into the store and shop. And I'm going to tell you, maybe 50% of the time, no one will even say anything. When I came back last Thursday, I stopped in the grocery store half an hour away. It's got signs, no mask, no service, no entry, and has a little sign saying, well, if you can't wear a mask, we will accommodate you by doing curbside service and all of this type of thing. I just put a smile on my face and went in. And I went and I got my bananas, my bread, my milk, ordered some garden soil, and that was it. There was no questions asked, and I was able to smile and be friendly to them and say, God bless, have a great day. And so 50% of the time, you won't even be bothered, okay? And the rest of the time, someone might be there, some employee might say, oh, sir or ma'am, do you have a mask? Can you wear a mask? And then what you do is you say, I'm exempt. And that's like a magic words, and they say, okay, thanks, no problem. Okay, you've got to at least try it. Please, please try it. Overcome your self-consciousness and just do it, because this actually is not a game. We are at war. This is a World War III, and if people don't start, you know, really resisting, and we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose everything. And I mean, I know a lot of people watch my videos. They think this is a chastisement we're going through and all this stuff. You know my position. You know I don't think that's what's going on. And I don't want to get in an argument with anyone about that. You know, I have my reasons. But you know, the main thing is, like, if this is a chastisement, then it's God's will. And therefore, you know, just, you know, sit on ashes and sackcloth, and just intensify your prayers. Okay, there's nothing you can do. It's God's will. We should not resist it. But if it's not from God, then we need to fight it, because I say this is the evil plots of evil men, and we need to fight it in this World War III. But because of the technology and everything, they don't need to bring in tanks. They want to depopulate the world. They want to control the population that's left. And the government leaders around the world have destroyed our economies. Don't get me wrong. When we win this finally, because the truth wins, okay? When we win this finally, okay? And yeah, you know, pray to Our Lady, the triumph of the Immaculate Heart. But this is not the ultimate triumph of the Immaculate Heart, okay? This is a battle we've got to win. Look, thank God our grandparents and great-grandparents did not just pray, but they fought in World War II and World War I. But the good thing is, we don't have to take up arms. All we have to do is resist. And when you put it in perspective like that all you have to do is overcome your self-consciousness and the peer pressure and everything to go into a store and say, I'm exempt. Now, I want you to have a clear conscience about that too. Why are you exempt? Because it gives you breathing difficulties. Why are you exempt? Because it gives you thinking difficulties. Why are you exempt? Because you can see what's going on. It's against your conscience. It's against your religion. It's against my religion anyway. Now, I don't tell you, I wouldn't want you. Don't, as a matter of fact, I encourage you, do not get into it with anyone. Some 18-year-old kid at the grocery store or something. Don't get into it. You know, do like I do, you know. When on just a couple occasions throughout this whole past year, someone asked me, what's my exemption? And I just leaned in and I said, that's kind of personal, don't you think? And then they walk away. Come on, we got to show a little bit of guts, a little bit of courage, a little bit of backbone, and resist this stuff, okay? So, okay, there's my little my little rant. Look, I think the momentum has shifted. If you think of it like an arm wrestle, and for the past year, we've been struggling, we've been losing ground, and we're about to lose, and then now it's starting to come back. So everyone, get behind that, put all our strength into it, and let's take the victory. Or think of a big tug of war, okay? And, the rope goes really long both ways. As a matter of fact, the rope is so big that everyone in the whole world can get on it, okay? And for the last year and a bit, what we've had is, a small number of persons, percentage-wise, could be in the thousands, but a very rich and very powerful but sick people, okay, with their little agenda, their little Great Reset agenda, and they've been winning. They've been gaining ground, and people have just been going on. They're like, oh, this is easy, this is easy. They're just taking it back. And but you know what? These social engineers, they don't really know human nature, right? And especially here in North America, folks, especially here, but I'm seeing it in Europe big time. Boy, I love those Europeans. Maybe I'll leave a link in the description for the Amsterdam rally last Saturday as well. Huge. Very, very encouraging. But anyway, now what's happening is they're losing ground. They're losing ground. They overplayed their hand. They played it too early. Okay? And now people are waking up and they're fed up and they're getting on that rope and they're pulling back. And now it's going the other way. So everyone, get on that rope and start pulling. And start pulling. And the way we do it is with massive non-compliance. Okay? Civil disobedience. Don't do it. They can't do it. I saw some mayor or governor or something in the States the last week or so asked a reporter asked her a question about arresting people who aren't complying with these things, aren't who are those who are opening up their businesses against the orders, and those who are refusing to get these experimental injections. And she said, yeah, I wish we could do that. I wish we could do that. But you know what? There's too many people and we can't enforce it. Bingo. Bingo. Okay? So everyone, let's get in the game. Now's the time to pull together. If you've been, kind of half in the game, half out, get in the game now. And for the sake of everyone, for the sake of the children, For the sake of the children, let's resist this stuff. Okay, there you go. May Almighty God bless you and protect you from all evil and give you all the courage you need and all the wisdom you need to carry out God's holy will in this really holy war. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Go in peace. God wins in the end, but he wants us to fight with him.